clarify, because I know people will say, well, why are they firing Adrian Griffin now? Because, you know, they hired him in June, and at that point, that was before Damian Lillard, and they were still
This
a
is
championship
weird.
contending
I
team
don't
at that
remember
point.
the last time a second-seeded team fired their coach mid-season.
David Blatt. I was reading comments before. I saw when he got fired. Someone wrote David Blatt. And before this picture came out, I was going to say David Blatt regardless if this picture came out.
Before Damian Lillard, but the way it was explained to me was that the Bucks going into the summer, they faced the unknown. They didn't know if they were going to be able to re-sign Chris Middleton. They didn't know if they were going to re-sign Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo. They didn't know if he was going to do an extension. So they kind of braced themselves to kind of take a step back. They didn't know if they were going to be able to be this potent going into this season. Then the trade happens. They acquire Damian Lillard, and now expectations change, and that made life a little bit more harder for Adrian Griffin. So
why did Blatt even get fired? Did Braun just not like him?
Wasn't
Yeah.
ready for this type of a
The
situation.
team didn't like him. The team didn't like him.
But again,
I remember during the
this
time
wasn't
the team didn't like
situation
him. The
that he
team, it
originally
was a
signed
weird
up for.
fit. And then I don't remember when LeBron, what was it? He asked LeBron to fucking inbound the ball. The original play, do you remember this game winner? The original play was for LeBron to inbound the ball, and LeBron's like, "No, hell no! I'll show you the interview. I'll show you the interview."
James for the win. It's gone. LeBron.
The original play was
The
supposed to be
fact
him inbounding the
Not only
fucking
they put
ball.
more time on the clock, but you guys got a free timeout when they reviewed when the ball went out. How much of a benefit was that to be able to drop a play? And then, well, go ahead.
To be honest, the play that was drawn up, I scratched it. And I just told Coach, just give me the ball. And, you know, we either going to go in overtime or I'm going to win it for us. It was that simple.
Were you supposed to inbound on the original play?
I was.
Yes.
I was supposed to take the ball out. I told Coach, there's no way I'm taking the ball out unless I could shoot it over the backboard and go in. So, you know, I told him, have somebody else take the ball out, give me the ball, and everybody get out the way.
So Griff got fired 'cause Giannis didn't like him?
Well, I don't know the reason why, but I think he was a good coach. Personal opinion, from what I've seen his sets and everything. But he said right here,
Look at practice from afar.
This
The
is what he
second
said.
best record in the NBA. They've won 5 of their last 6, and we're now joined by senior NBA insider Chris Haynes, who will be in LA for our late game. Haynes, this was a shock to many of us. Why did they make this change now?
Adam, it's funny you phrase it that way, because if you talk to members of the Bucks, well, if they will be honest with you, it wasn't a shock to them. And the reason why I say that is the last week and a half or so, the front office began attending the practices and shoot-arounds. And why that isn't uncommon, usually with front office members, they will look at practice from afar, usually from their office. But I was told over the last week and a half, General Manager John Horst and Assistant General Manager Milton Newton, they were actually on the floor, on the sidelines, observing practice. That started to raise eyebrows amongst members of the Bucks and the coaching staff. And we all throughout this season, we've all been hearing about you know rumbles of guys being unhappy, roles, schemes not being well executed and formulated. And, you know, even me, I reported back in December during the in-season tournament when Bobby Portis called out Coach Adrian Griffin about the schemes and their lack of execution down the stretch. And so there's been signals all throughout this 4-month tenure of Adrian Griffin as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Bro was a former coach, right?
Now, I will say this.
Or am I getting him confused with someone else?
I think this is his first year. I think this
Player asterisk.
Oh, he was a player. He was a former player. Yes, he was a former player. But he was never been a coach. But you know what's the always thing? When you get fired as a coach, he has signed a contract. I don't miss his contract. It's crazy. You still get paid. If I was a coach, it's awesome to get fired, bro. If you sign your contract, you get fired. You get paid for the rest of 4 years. I remember when Mike Brown, he got fired from Cleveland, and then he got fired from Cleveland and he joined the Warriors staff. And then the Warriors played the Cavs in the finals, and he was getting paid from both teams.
Wasn't Nash fired his first season too?